Coming today. Today's press conference is to talk about the KO of the TU being held here this Saturday night beginning at 7:30. Times Union Center General Manager Bob Belber could not be here today. He's away on arena business and asked me to stand in to introduce today's press conference and to say a few words on behalf of the arena. And I'd like to first introduce the members of the dais, and we'll start to my right here. This is Joe DeGuardia, who's the president and founder of Star Boxing. To Joe's right is Joe Hanks, the IBA heavyweight champion. To Joe's right is his agent, Mike Marrero. On my left is Rafael Pedro. On his left is his trainer, Kennedy McKinney. And then is Jan Bartolome, who's a 2004 Olympic gold medalist from Cuba. And his trainer is Orlando Cuello. As a side note, Philadelphia Eagles rookie running back and former Albany High School grad, Deon Lewis, tried to be here today, couldn't, but he's going to be in attendance on Saturday night. So all you Eagle fans or haters, please don't forget to stop by and say hi to Deon on Saturday night. Well, this Saturday's KO at the TU is arguably one of the biggest nights of boxing the Capital District has ever seen. A six-bout card promoted by Joe DeGuardia at Star Boxing will be highlighted by two championship fights. The first has Sahib Yusarov of Russia, the reigning WBA European Bantamweight champion, taking on the 2004 Cuban Olympic gold medalist Jan Bartolome for the WBO Intercontinental Bantamweight Championship in a 10-round bout. And in the feature fight of the evening, Joe the Future Hanks puts up his IBA championship belt and his undefeated 18-0 and 12 KO mark versus the big and tough Cajun Cuban giant Rafael Pedro in a 10-round affair for the IBA Heavyweight Championship. And it has been 15 long years since boxing has graced the Times Union Center. The Capital District region has a long history of important fights and fighters who have fought here locally. The last match here was 15 years ago. Featured Hasim Rahman, who a few years later would KO Lennox Lewis for the World Heavyweight Championship. The great Sugar Ray Robinson fought in Albany in 1946. And of course, Iron Mike Tyson fought his first 3 bouts of his career here in Albany, and 11 bouts total in the Capital region, on his way to becoming what might be the most feared heavyweight champion in all of boxing. And the history of Mike Tyson reaches out to us again this Saturday night. Mike was trained, as many of you know, by Kevin Rooney Sr. and Kevin Rooney Jr. Kevin's son makes his Albany debut this Saturday night versus Stanley Harvey of Georgia. The Times Union Center will not only be debuting our first championship fights on Saturday night, but it will be the first time a movie will ever be shot here at the building. Wishing Well Pictures will be shooting scenes for their upcoming big screen title, The Challenger, starring Justin Hartley. The Challenger is still casting, and there'll be more news and updates to come. The film production can be followed on Facebook.com/The Challenger Movie. Of course, those in attendance for the fight on Saturday night can remain afterwards and be involved in the filming of some scenes for that movie. Saturday's event will also mark what the Times Union Center hopes will be the beginning of a great and wonderful relationship with Star Boxing and its president, Joe DeGuardia. Star Boxing is among the highest regarded and most rapidly expanding boxing organizations in the country. Its great reputation is in part due to its ability to develop talent, as you see with Joe Hanks here. Another one of the examples would be Delvin Rodriguez, who just won the IBA Intercontinental Light Middleweight crown on the Pacquiao Marquez pay-per-view undercard at Madison Square Garden in December. And Delvin and Joe are just many of the future stars of boxing in the Star Boxing stable. The company also maintains an extremely high profile with its broadcast partners and affiliates. And the amazingly swift rise of Star Boxing is largely attributed to the man to my right. With his expertise and vision, the organization's founder and president is Joe DeGuardia. Joe learned boxing at his father's boxing gym in the Bronx, and Ralph will know that. Ralph back there. Joe had his first official bout at the age of 9. Won the Golden Gloves welterweight crown in 1988, and through Joe's leadership, he has earned a reputation, certainly among the youngest and most dynamic boxers in the business. And Star Boxing has promoted fights and fighters, many great fights and many great fighters, and the prime example of that is the Antonio Tarver and Roy Jones trilogy, which was one of the most successful trilogies in boxing history, generating over $50 million in revenue. Star Boxing shows have been broadcast both nationally and internationally on pay-per-view, HBO, Showtime, ESPN, HDNet, Telemundo, and MSG, as well as the internet with GoFightLive.tv. It's been a pleasure working with Joe on this event, and Bob Belber, the general manager of the Times Union Center, asked me to say that the Times Union Center looks forward to an exciting and mutually beneficial relationship with Joe and Star Boxing for many years to come, and hopefully also for the very near future. Ladies and gentlemen, the founder and president of Star Boxing, Joe DeGuardia.